everyone, welcome back to another episode of Bold Moves. So as mentioned, we're joined with Megan again. Hello Megan.
Hi, it's nice to be on again, and I must admit this is a really fun episode, so I'm
It
very
is.
excited to be back.
Yeah, I do not blame you.
So today we're going to be discussing red flags in the workplace.
We are.
So that is why I'm so excited. So for this episode, I sent out an anonymous form to a load of people and got them to send in some responses on what their workplace red flags are. And I must admit, there's some really funny ones in there, so
Yeah.
I'm very excited. But there's also some serious ones, so let's jump in and have a little look at what was sent in.
Exciting.
So the first one that we've got is managers giving you full autonomy over a task because they don't have time, only to comment on everything that's wrong with it when you present the finished product. Do it yourself then, hun.
I love that last bit.
Yeah, I feel like this person has definitely had, something like
A personal experience.
Yeah, they've experienced it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think? What do you think's going on here?
I think it's a red flag. It's a very personal experience that they've had.
Yeah.
It feels very personal. But because you're an apprentice, you need a manager to have time, and it's a bit unfair.
Yeah, I can 100%. I can see the annoyance there,
Yeah.
because if I was given a task and I was told, it's a task because my manager didn't have any time, and you spend all that time working on the task, and you've been working on it, and then suddenly it's been absolutely nitpicked at, and I can understand that person's situation being like, well, I was doing this because you didn't have time to do it. So I completely see that.
Yeah, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
I think it is a red flag, but I feel like maybe discuss with your manager.
It's difficult because you don't know the situation with this one, because
that's true.
you don't know whether this person... I know naturally you can feel quite defensive if people give you constructive feedback.
Yeah.
So it could be absolutely a situation where, someone has done this task, they've been given some constructive feedback and they just haven't taken it quite well, and they think
Think it's personal.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be the situation.
Yeah.
But I definitely can see the annoyance that,
Yeah.
if they've been given tasks, especially if it's happening frequently,
Mhm.
that's maybe not within their job role, or, that kind of thing, because it's someone else's task that they're supposed to
but
do.
they've not had time, so you have to do it.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, I can see that as a red flag.
I do. Right, next one.
Next one.
Okay. Management that care more about the opinions of other managers than their staff.
Ooh, we've got some serious ones to
This
start
is
off with, haven't we?
very serious ones. Wow. Okay. Go on. What do you think?
So, I'd say, again, with context, if it's maybe like a situation where it's opinions based on, a business, like something higher up,
Yeah.
maybe they're wanting to have those opinions from the more higher up people.
Yeah.
But I definitely think it's a red flag if, for example, I'll speak from what I know, if you're like a content creator and you do videography a lot, and you're editing a video, and then you've got an opinion about the video that you think is absolutely valid because you've been working on that, and then the management side of things, they don't really value that opinion and want to have it from someone else.
Mhm.
I think that would probably be a red flag, because you want to be able to kind of put your ideas forwards and your opinions forward and feel as though you can be a part of something. So if I can see from that point of view where you might feel a bit pushed aside.
Yeah, because you're not in the hierarchy of the company, you might feel a bit belittled, but apprentices aren't little. We are great, aren't we?
Yeah, definitely.
So good. Next one.
So the next one we've got flexible hybrid work. So flexible/hybrid work is a job advert, but it's not in practice.
The fake advertisement.
Yeah, red flag.
Yeah.
Because I personally think, if you're putting something in a job ad, then you
got to promote what you bring in.
So you're essentially using those things to attract people to the job opportunity, and then they apply, get the job, and they realise that most of the stuff on there isn't actually true.
Yeah.
So I would 100% say that is a red flag.
Yeah, and then you've got an unhappy staff member, and then the company are advertising fake, so you're not going to have a good reputation afterwards.
And that goes for any benefits or anything like that they might put on there to seem like a really good, company, and you get all these benefits, but then in practice you don't.
Yeah.
If you're going to offer them, then fair enough.
You've got to offer it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, next one.
So the next one we've got, I feel like we've got a lot of the serious ones.
Yeah.
At the start, but we've got lack of priority for training. This indicates the company does not invest in their staff. I mean, it says it there.
Yeah.
I think red flag. If you're not having training, again, this is the same thing as the last one. If no matter like who you are, whether it's just you've been in the industry for ages and you're moving to a different job and you're not getting trained in the area, or whether you're an apprentice and you're not getting trained, then it kind of again sets you up to fail, because you're not getting that training. And I think especially if you're thinking of that in terms of priority for training being when you first start a job, if that's not happening, that is definitely a red flag. Because you just sort of thrown in there and with no idea what to do, it would make you just wouldn't feel comfortable. If it's like priority of training throughout, you know, your job, so you might have been working there for a year or so, maybe like a different standpoint, but I know personally for me, if I was to have an interview, one of my questions that I would ask would be, you know, what are the opportunities for development and training? And if I heard that they were really struggling to answer that question, or it sounded like they were kind of making things up, that would be a bit of a red flag personally for me, because I know that if I'm going into a job, I want to go in there to be able to be the best that I possibly can be, and to grow and, you know, learn. So having a company that has a priority for training is a real green flag for me. I know that side of things might be a little bit of you know, a different view for other people, because some people might just view it as they're just wanting a job and they're going for the job and that's that. But I think in terms of if it's talking about starting a job and there's that lack of priority for training, that's definitely an issue.
Lack of support is a big red flag, I think.
Definitely.
Now, okay, next one, a little less serious. Okay, lack of fridge etiquette. If you don't bring it in, don't eat it. It's not yours. Keep your hands off my hummus. So true. I look forward, I don't know about you, I look forward to my lunch times, and if my food is not in there, I would be fuming.
This is the thing, like, I know that some companies, you know, they may provide food that's communal. I know that in one that I've worked at, you know, they've had like breakfast things and stuff like that, which fair dues, you know,
free snacks,
help yourself, free snacks, great. But if you're bringing in your own food and then people are taking it, that's definitely a red flag. And also, if I can't trust you with like taking my food from the fridge, how can I trust you in workday life?
So true, so true. And food's the most important
If
thing.
you're going to take my hummus, what else are you going to take?
Exactly.
I think 100% red flag. Stay away
from my food.
I can't trust anyone around me anymore if that's going to be the case.
And if you're hungry, I need that food. And if I've got no food, then what are we going to do?
Exactly. And you might have made something so nice that you look forward to for your lunch, spent all that effort, and then suddenly someone else goes, oh, that looks nice, I'm going to take it.
Imagine though, I could never do that.
I'd cry.
But I could never take it from someone. I'd feel so guilty. That is like robbery.
Yeah.
Couldn't do that.
Oh, right, okay.
Moving
next one before I'm going to start getting emotional.
Well, this one's not any better. Oh my
God. Colleague eating mackerel for lunch. Now, I've got something to admit.
Oh no, here we go.
I wrote this one. I submitted this one.
That is brave to admit.
I submitted this anonymous thing to myself.
Okay.
So this is about my colleague. No name drops, okay. But they know who they are. Okay. And if I use this as a social clip on our social channels,
look right in the camera.
If I use this as a social clip for our channels, this person may or may not comment below who they are. They have done in the past, so you might be able to find it. So yeah, don't get me wrong. Don't mind a bit of fish, don't mind a bit of eggs, anything like that. But in the office, you know, in a confined space.
Smelly.
You know, and the thing is, I put this in, yes, but I have heard from multiple people similar things, you know, saying people microwaving fish in the office, you know, stuff like that. So I know it's not just me. But I think, there's just something about really smelly foods when you're sat in an office.
Yeah, not fun.
Well, if you're just feeling a bit icky that day and then suddenly someone opens up some fish, I'm done.
It's intense. So you know who you are.
I'm interested if anyone watching this or listening to this, if they've ever experienced this particular one, and what food was it? Please comment below.
Okay, next one. Off from the food subject now.
Yeah.
Companies that refer to themselves as a big family.
It makes me cringe a little bit, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
Yeah, to me, right, this is a red flag to me. And I think this kind of, I don't know whether this would be true or not, but to me it kind of reminds me of, you know, some, and I don't know whether I'm just generalising here, so I don't want to offend anyone. But, you know, companies that are formed as like a family business that maybe bring in external people to work, and they might have that like family clique because they're family, and so anyone outside of that might feel a bit left out. And so true. I think there's this element of I kind of view it as the companies that say that they're a big family, they might have a select group within that are very close knit, but if you're not within that, then you're kind of pushed aside. That's the kind of vibe that I get when I hear big family. So I think that's why I would call it a red flag. There's just I mean, I'm all for, you know, great work relationships and, you know, having friends with it, you know, as your colleagues and things like that. It makes life a bit easier. It's like what we were discussing in the last episode of mental health. It's nice to have, you know, have good relationships because you're working full time. You spend most of your time working, so it's nice to have those relationships. But there's an element of, you know, if they're saying like they're a big family, there's just something about it.
I think a lot of places advertise that. I've seen it a lot, like we're a big family, because I think they want to advertise themselves as a lovely workplace to work at. So I get it.
Yeah.
I don't know, controversial. I don't know if it's a red flag. I think it's a bit cringy.
Yeah.
But I think also kind of nice that, like, if you are a big family and you do get on, but 9 times out of 10 you probably not as...
I think that's a personal one, isn't it? I think I've heard it a lot, you know, the whole big family kind of thing. Yeah. So I can see why people might think of it as a red flag. See it. Maybe from those kind of examples I've given. But I see what you mean, that, you know, maybe there's a better way to word it.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe they're just trying to kind of say that they're, you know, they're friendly and it's a nice, positive work environment to be around. But I suppose it depends how you
word it.
Yeah. People watching, what do you think? Do you think that, you know, big family is a red flag, or whether they're maybe just they're just wording it wrong, and maybe they're just, you know, nice, positive environment that they're trying to get across?
I think it's circumstantial.
Definitely. Okay, so the next one we've got is this is a difficult one.
This is a hard
one.
So
this is it's going back to more like to serious again, but companies that make you book annual leave for close family funerals. Now, this is a difficult one because I mean we were talking about this before, that we don't necessarily know the, you know, the legalities of it, what you're technically allowed to kind of have. I think this might depend company to company. I know that some, you know, you'd assume you'd have, you know, would you call it special leave?
Like a special, for like occasions like a funeral. You don't want to book your holiday for it necessarily, obviously not. I think it's just, I don't know, it is a hard one because it's based, I think it's a nice gesture, nice act to offer that as not a holiday leave and just let you take it because you didn't want to go to a funeral.
It's such a difficult one because obviously at the time it's such a sensitive thing. And no matter who you lose, it's a really difficult time. So, you know, when you hear like, oh, you have to book annual leave, you automatically go, well, why? I've just lost someone. You'd kind of think or hope that you would be entitled to like compassionate leave is what I was trying to think of before. Some form of like compassionate leave. But I know it depends on obviously it states here close family member. It's a difficult one, but I think it is just dependent on each company, but you'd hope that there would be something in place, you know, where they could take some form of
definitely. And I think a lot of places hopefully would be like that.
You'd hope they'd like take it in a sensitive matter.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Stuff like that. I think it'd be red flag it'd definitely be a red flag if not, and then you know, they're kind of dismissing it.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, so the next one is expectations to buy coffee rounds.
Ooh.
Okay, I've never experienced that.
Me neither.
I don't think there should be an expectation, but obviously if someone pays one time, then you pay another time.
Again, it's a context thing. Like, we don't know whether this is a regular thing that happens, you know, and I'm assuming from what we've been given that maybe it is a regular thing.
They've been forced into it.
And it's almost like a thing where, you know, everyone has to buy a coffee round. In which case, I could see that from this point of view, people might so they might have classed it as a red flag because, especially again, if you're an apprentice and you might be struggling because you have like money and things like that. it can cost. I mean, coffee's nowadays depending on where you're buying a coffee
It's
from.
like £5.
Exactly.
It's
And if
ridiculous.
you've got a decent sized team, that's a lot of money.
Some people, £50 for a coffee round, hey?
Mad.
Crazy.
Yeah, I feel like I'd be
Circumstance again, I think.
Circumstance, and yeah, to be honest, I'm the sort of person where I'm like, I'll buy you a coffee, but I don't expect you to buy me
get
a
one
coffee.
back.
Like,
No.
I'm just being nice.
Yeah. I don't think there should be an expectation. However, if someone offers to buy you one, then it's up to you if you want to return the favour or if you just want to take the lovely gesture from someone.
Yeah. It's kind of like mid-ground. I haven't got a definite,
Yeah.
red flag or not.
Yeah.
Circumstantial.
Yeah.
Okay. Again, another expectation one. We've got expectation to work overtime.
I feel like there's a pressure that everyone in the office should work a bit over. I saw online, if you work 15 minutes a day over your working hours, it's like £500 a year that you're...
Crazy.
And that's a lot.
That's a lot.
But 15 minutes feels like nothing, doesn't it? So I get the pressure of thinking that you have to stay over, but if you've done your work for the day and you don't need to do any more, go home.
So, funnily enough, actually, I saw something on LinkedIn the other day where someone was saying how there was a colleague that would sit near the door around like 5 o'clock leaving time and would shout goodbye to basically make aware who leaves when.
Oh no.
So to be like, you're not staying after 5
Oh, I
o'clock,
don't
you're
like
leaving
that.
at 5 o'clock on the dot.
Yeah.
And it made everyone feel really uncomfortable to the point where a lot of the female staff were hiding their their bags and purses and things in the toilets, so they would leave looking like they were just going to the toilet, but so then they could as quickly escape.
Oh wow.
Because it made it feel really awkward to them that they were leaving on time and not afterwards.
That is awful.
And I was like, no, that would 100% be a red flag.
Yeah.
It's just like that, you just feel like you can't leave on time. You have to wait after.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always times like, when you're busy and
you're gonna stay later.
You're going to stay later and things like that. But I definitely don't think that there should be an expectation to, because if you're being paid from a certain hour to a certain hour, then I'm not getting paid after that.
Yeah.
And I mean, I think having that expectation there, it makes people even more reluctant to work afterwards as well.
Yeah, definitely.
I feel like I'm kind of more relaxed with, because there isn't that expectation. If I do work a bit extra, I've just worked a bit extra.
Yes.
I don't feel the pressure of it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was an interesting one. But that story, I was like,
that is crazy.
That's mad.
That is mad.
Oh, that would be such a toxic environment.
I know. I'd be paranoid to go home every day.
I know, yeah.
That's awful. I do know a lot of places do offer flexi time, so people are leaving at complete different times. People are starting earlier, which makes it maybe a bit easier because people are coming and going whenever.
That's the thing. I think it's become so much more common, like since COVID, having that flexibility, because it just helps so many people, especially, I've had colleagues who are mums and, need to pick up the children from nursery.
Yeah.
So they are able to work, a bit earlier in the day and then finish a bit earlier.
Yeah.
And just have that flexibility, because it means you can still absolutely do your work, but you've got that flexibility of time.
And I do think sometimes the pressure's in your head, because I'm guilty for it. I finish at 4, but when it hits 4, I'm like, I need to wait 10 minutes and then I'll go. Like, I feel
just
like...
in case someone messages.
Yeah, just in case. Or there's no point in starting a task, but you may as well go through a few things. So I feel like in your own head, sometimes the pressure is on yourself.
Definitely, yeah. I've been victim to that. I definitely do
it. Okay, next one. Okay.
Interesting one.
So this is locks on your milk.
So on the actual bottle.
I've never heard of that.
Right. I will, when I'm editing, if I remember this, I will put a picture of this in the video, because someone showed me this and it's an actual lock that goes on the milk. So you can't open it. Now, again, I don't know the context of it too much, in terms of like, was it someone's personal milk? Yeah. But again, because I think a lot of companies provide milk.
Yeah.
So my first initial thought was, is it someone who's maybe lactose intolerant and have got a special like lactose milk or oat milk or something like that? So they didn't want anyone else to use it because they're not going to be using the communal milk.
It's quite extreme, isn't it?
I mean, still, I think it's maybe a bit pedantic.
Yeah, it's just a little bit.
Write your name on it kind of thing.
Yeah.
But interesting one.
Very.
Again, I don't know whether it was the actual company themselves putting these locks in the milk. Are they timed with how
how much you can have?
How much milk you can have, and
well, if you're in the office, you want like 5 cups of tea a day.
Exactly. You can only access the milk on a certain. I don't know the context behind it, but it definitely seems really weird. That they'd actually put a lock on the milk.
Yeah,
but it's really interesting. I never knew it existed.
Neither did I until now.
Okay, so then we've got people forgetting to book meeting rooms. So I'm assuming this is like, you're wanting to, I don't know, like you're wanting to book a meeting room, but then someone
is already in there.
Someone's in there, but they haven't booked it because they've forgotten to, and it gives that awkward encounter. Have you ever done that where you've you walk into a meeting room, but you're just like, excuse me, I've booked this room out.
Yeah. I've been the other way round. The room was empty, and I went in on a call, and then someone knocks on like, "We booked out," and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, so sorry, I didn't mean to." I think it's just a mistake, a little inconvenience. Like people aren't doing it on purpose. Like people are busy at work.
I personally wouldn't necessarily call it a red flag. I can imagine it's a bit annoying if you've booked it and you've got a meeting or something where you have to be there on the dot, and then someone's there and you're having, especially if you're a bit of like a socially awkward person and you're having to like
interaction,
sorry to bother you kind of thing. I wouldn't call it a red flag, but I definitely think
inconvenience.
Inconvenience.
Okay, the next one, unnecessary meetings. So that could have been on email. So it was just a brief little 5 minutes. Could have been done on the phone or on email, but you had to be in person.
Yeah, getting random like meetings and stuff in when you know that it could have been an easy email or pop me a WhatsApp message.
And you're really
like
busy.
That. Yeah, I think that could be annoying. Again,
not sure a red flag.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know whether it's more just annoyance rather than a red flag. But it definitely can be frustrating.
Sometimes it's nice though. You want to chat with people in the day.
Depends who. Depends what it's about, you know.
Yeah.
Pick and choose, like, do I answer it? No, I'm just kidding. I answer all my calls. But yeah, no, I can see the frustration, and I feel like it's something that everyone has experienced.
Yeah.
I can imagine it's a very common thing that people get frustrated about, having meetings. I think especially like you said, if you're really busy and then you're getting a call, a quick message, you read it, say, yeah, that's fine, I'll do that. You sorted. But with the call, you've got all the niceties, you've got the catching up, you've got, the kind of hearing, you asking questions and stuff like that. So I feel like that takes a longer time to do.
True. Yeah.
So I suppose it depends on your outlook, whether you're a very sociable person that likes to chat and doesn't mind, being interrupted when you're doing a task.
Yeah.
I know I'm the sort of person, like, if I'm interrupted doing a task, then I will really struggle to get back into doing the task. So I'd find it quite frustrating just having a random call.
Yeah. Depends on the person.
Depends on the person. Yeah. Oh no, that means like they'll know if you're answering the call, they'll know that you like them.
Yeah. You'll know. And if you don't answer.
Yeah. If you're out there going, oh, this person, like, they never answer my calls.
Yeah. No,
they're not. Just kidding. So the next one we've got is saying stuff like, let's circle back, we'll do a deep dive, let's touch base, keep me in the loop.
Office slang.
Yeah, it's kind of the office conferencey slang. I've seen loads of things on this, like loads of posts where people, and I'm trying to think of some off the top of my head, and I can't right now. So if anyone listening, please, I'm gonna leave this whole episode is gonna be getting you involved with, what do you think, and examples of what you've experienced. But what are some like stereotypical sort of quotes and things that people say in the workplace?
Yeah, I can't think of any.
I can't think off the top of my head other than those ones. Yeah, like
they're just very
again, some of these I'm like, would I class it as a red flag, or is it just a common thing that is just that people say that you just eventually go feels a bit cringe.
Yeah, just a bit cringe. I wouldn't necessarily a red flag, but just a little bit cringe.
No, the worst bit is when you notice yourself starting to say some of them, and you're like, oh, I hate myself.
Yeah.
Like I did it the other day, and I was just like, why did I say that? Why?
Yeah, it's engraved in your
brain
brain now.
I just knew that it was just a stereotypical thing that people say, and I said it, and I was so disappointed in myself.
So disappointed.
What about the nice to meet you stuff?
Oh my god, nice to meet you. Do you know that?
Okay, we just had a contribution from our production team. And yeah, the nice to meet you.
Oh, it just cringes me out, I think. I don't think it's a red flag. It literally just cringes me out.
Yeah, I actually had an email the other day where someone said nice to meet you, and you just sort of notice it and you're like, oh.
No, you're one of them.
I definitely think I've heard that a lot since COVID as well, because
Have you?
you were constantly just, having Zoom calls and emailing through there, so just meet you. Yeah, that's definitely one to add to the list.
Or like there's certain sign-offs that people use, not like the typical kind regards or like many thanks. There's people are creative with it now.
Okay.
Next one. Oh, you can say this one.
Colleagues walking around the office with no shoes on.
If you've got socks on, it's fine. Because I have actually...
Are you admitting to this?
No, I haven't, but I have seen people take their shoes off when they work and then they have to get up from the desk and they've got no shoes on, but they have socks on. It's just, I think it's funny. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I would definitely be creeped out if it was barefoot.
Yeah, very, very concerned.
Oh. Yeah, I've definitely seen, people bringing slippers.
Yeah,
slippers. I've seen like videos and stuff being like, yeah, I've got some slippers for work, and I'm just like, great.
Yeah.
But
I don't think it's a red flag. I think it's just a bit worrying.
I think there's like some of these more like etiquette based rather than necessarily red flags. I think some are definitely red flags, and I'd 100% agree.
Mm-hmm.
Fish. But
you know who you are.
Some of them are more like office etiquette. Yeah, I feel like if if you're walking around maybe with your socks, I still don't know how I feel about it, but I feel like that would be so much better than just
your feet.
toes. Yeah.
Ooh.
No, thank you.
Not for me.
No.
Okay.
People will be thinking you're a microwaving fish.
You and this fish, you have a deep hatred for it.
Telling you.
Right. Okay, last one.
Oh no.
Okay,
Right.
Can I have the honours?
Yeah, of course.
Okay. When people forward you an email with no context and people add you into a meeting with no context.
I really, really, really dislike this.
Okay.
I actually saw a post on this, going more to like the serious route, but when it was Neurodiversity Awareness Week, I saw someone post about this, being like, as someone who's autistic, not having clarity and concise, communication can be a massive struggle and can really take a hit on the day. So they had, a meeting scheduled in with absolutely no context, and were absolutely freaking out because they didn't know what the meeting was about. They didn't know how to prepare.
Yeah.
And a lot of that preparation is really, is vital. And so I think making that sort of adjustment of having clear, concise communication just helps everyone. It doesn't like single out certain people. It helps absolutely everyone, because who doesn't want, clear, concise information? But yeah, I've definitely had it where I've had, emails just forwarded to me, like, here you go. And I'm thinking, but what do you want me to do with it?
Yeah.
I don't know the context of the email as much. And just something as simple as like, this is what the email is about, if there's more context, if I haven't heard about what's being discussed, and this is what I'd like you to do with it, that would be so helpful.
Yeah, definitely. And it'll benefit everyone in the meeting. If you're unprepared, the meeting's not going to be successful.
Exactly.
So it would be nice to let everyone know, and it will stop this individual worrying all day about what is it about. What if you think you're getting in trouble? It can be quite stressful for no reason.
Because it's the thing, to me, like, I think it's just such a simple thing to do.
Yeah.
But obviously there's lots of people discussing it, so obviously it's a thing that not many people seem to do.
Yeah.
So I found like with my communication, I really try and give as much context as possible, because I think about how I would be receiving it.
Yeah, definitely.
And that definitely helps. I just think this is more of people need to be sort of informed. People receive information in different ways, and they might not pick up on understanding what you're trying to say straight away. So just having that clarity, and like I said before, it helps absolutely everybody.
Yeah, definitely. I think what stresses me out when I'm at work is if someone goes, can you come to my office for like when you've got a spare minute, and I'm like, oh my gosh,
it's can we have a chat?
Yeah, can we have a chat?
But
can you come in?
What about?
Yeah.
Because I catastrophize and I go,
what have I done?
what have I done? I'm gonna get fired.
Yeah, I'm gonna get fired. Yeah.
I'm a little bit better at it now.
Yeah.
Because I know in reality it might not be the case. But
Yeah.
You never know.
You never know.
There are situations it probably could be.
Yeah.
Because if they're not my brain goes to, if they're not wanting to give me context about what we're going to talk about, it's obviously going to be something bad, because they don't want me like stressing about it.
Exactly.
No.
Yeah.
Whereas, you know, I've had colleagues before, they know that I don't like this. So they've, you know, messaged saying, can we have a chat? It's about this.
Don't worry.
And I'm like, great. You know, that's all I needed was just a bit of context.
Yeah.
So 100% agree with
Yeah.
that
Or
one.
if they just say like, nothing serious, you're not in trouble, don't worry. I'm like, okay.
Yeah. And it always feels like you're being such, like, to me, like, I always feel like I'm being such a burden when I'm just like, please just give me more information. But in reality, it's like, well, it's going to make my life easier.
Yeah.
It's going to make your life easier, you know?
Yeah, save the stress, save the wrinkles.
Yeah, save the stress, I want that on a t-shirt.
We made a new quote. Save the stress, save the wrinkles.
Hashtag save the stress, save the
Hashtag
wrinkles.
down below, guys. Hashtag save the stress, save the wrinkles.
What's your hashtag save the stress, hashtag save the wrinkles moment?
Trending? Is it going to be trending, this hashtag?
I love it. No, I think that's the perfect one to end on.
Yeah. Okay, so that's all the red flags we have for today. I think we could have done that for hours. Like, it's actually quite interesting to go through.
Also, if you dare, feel free to like comment below some of your red flags that maybe we've missed.
Yeah, definitely.
Funny or serious.
Yeah, we've had both.
Yeah.
We've had different levels. We've had fish.
The fish again.
Not the fish.
Had fish, feet, hummus.
Yeah.
And also the more serious ones.
Yeah. But it's always good to cover it, I think, so you don't feel alone or like you're going through these stresses at work on your own, or if you think it's normal, like some of these things should not be normalised, so it's nice to definitely be made aware of what should and shouldn't happen in the office, I think.
100%, I think that's definitely well said.
Yeah, amazing. So that's a wrap for this episode. I hope you enjoyed seeing Meg. We will be returning with Ryan next time, so...
Yeah, I'll be back behind the camera.
Yes, sad times. Comment below if you want Megan instead.
Oh no, Ryan is absolutely brilliant.
No, yeah, we love Ryan, he's great. But yeah, you will see me and Ryan back with the next episode, and I hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you next time.
See you later.
Bye.